All right, hello squirrel friends. It is July 8th, 2024, and tomorrow marks the exactly 1 week anniversary of the official mistrial declared in the Karen Read trial. And what we have here is the full Celebrate extraction report for John O'Keefe and Karen Read's text messages. And as you can see here, it says Exhibit 627. Also, huge shout out to Fender for providing me with this. So you might be asking yourself, well, didn't they read these in the trial with Trooper Guarino, who, by the way, we just finished with his testimony on the latest recap. So if you are interested in watching that, please check out the playlist. It will be included in the description and at the end of this video as well, and you can find it there. But you might be asking yourself, didn't we just see all of these text messages? Well, as it turns out, and as it was brought to my attention, there were messages that were missing. So I have not looked at this yet. This is my first look, and I want to talk about maybe why they might be missing and how that would be possible. Because technically the defense could have objected to completeness, and the fact that they didn't object to completeness means that there were things decided upon before trial, like, for example, pretrial motions, right? Motions in limine. There was something that happened pre-trial, right, where they would have made that decision and agreed on it, because otherwise, again, the defense would have objected to completeness. And they could have, and then they would have had to all come in. So what this says to me is that whatever these text messages are that were missing were agreed upon by both parties to be inadmissible for some reason, more than likely. So if there's a text message that's admissible, but let's say that the content of it is like damning to both sides, they don't have to include it, right? That would be the idea. The only problem would be if one side's going to object, but that's why, that didn't happen, which is how we know it was discussed ahead of time as to what was going to come in and what wasn't. So thinking of that, keeping that in mind, anything that we see that we didn't see in trial, my initial speculation about it is going to be that it either was inadmissible or it was admissible, but both parties didn't want it to come in. So that's kind of the lens I want to view this through. And like I said, this is my first time reading this, so we're going to discover together what all was omitted during trial. And in case I didn't mention this already, I do plan to go back after we finish the recaps, and we're almost done. We're on week 9 now. I do plan to go back and cover the pretrial motions and hearings. So we may end up finding out more about what the deal was with these text messages specifically at that point. And we'll see. We will find out together. So again, blue is Karen, green is John O'Keefe. Alrighty, so this is January 28th at 9:49 a.m. from Karen. You have really hurt me this time. I'm sorry, this has been an issue with me for 8 years. It physically hurts me to see everyone else in their life do things for them, and I'm forced to always be the bad guy. I am not the same as everyone else. Most of the time, I try to do what is healthy/smart for them. More importantly, I try to support you and what you need. You just lashed out at me and said terrible things. I don't know how you've gotten to this point with me when I'm just trying my hardest. You made your point and continue to beat me down. I have a lot going on too. Physically, I'm falling apart and trying to get answers and help. Okay, next we have, this is at 10:10 a.m. Karen says, I am just your girlfriend. I am not a perfect parent. I am trying very hard and sometimes treat them. Nothing like I used to. And this was not presented in trial. I'm wondering if part of it is because it's starting into the conversation where they're having this argument and it's about the kids. And I wonder if both sides just agreed for the kids' sake that they're just gonna, like, in other words, instead of eliminating one message here, one message there, it wouldn't make sense, to have those out of context. I wonder if they're just like, we're gonna just, this whole chunk, right, for the whole conversation, I wonder if they just both sides agreed we're gonna just leave it out for the kids' sake. So I'm thinking that's what's gonna happen is the next batch of messages. I don't know how long, we'll find out. Next batch of messages I anticipate will be related to the kids, and that's why. And that would make sense. Okay, John responds, I know, I'm sorry for lashing out. I'm just hurting and struggle daily with them. Always feel like I'm failing at this parenting thing. I wasn't built for this. Kaylee isn't perfect, but everything wonderful about her is because of you. Well, that's, I mean, that's actually in a way, I mean, yeah, she's not perfect. Like, that's okay. But this is a really beautiful statement to say, though, to John, isn't it? Everything wonderful about her is because of you. Wow, what a compliment. And this one is blank. It's true. I know she's her mother's daughter, but she wouldn't be so bright and successful if she lived with anyone else. Wow. Wow, Kristen just sent you 2 back-to-back messages to not lose faith in the kids. Interesting. Who's Kristen? Or in yourself. Okay, so she's saying don't lose faith in the kids or yourself. And by the way, so this is at 12:31 p.m. And it looks like this one's blank again. I don't know what that means. We heard this happen a couple times in the trial. I have no idea what this means when it's blank. I don't understand that. I mean, it's not, I mean, we have the phone numbers redacted, but the content's not redacted. It's one of those ones, and he would say this even on, I remember in the trial, it was like, yep, it's just blank, there's no content. And then this says no, and then I don't know what that symbol is. Life can pick you up sometimes. Please be happy with them and put away your frustrations for the rest of the day and be so proud of yourself, JJ. Isn't that the symbol for the female symbol? So anyway, so I don't know what that symbol is, but yeah. That bothers me more than anything. Should have sent Peg's or Sarah's W-2s. We are all equal guardians. Now this is where we left off in court. So in trial, here's what we saw. So in trial, it went from scrolling song. Okay. Here. So in trial, it went from this message here, where it ends, physically I'm falling apart and trying to get answers and help, at 10:09 a.m. It jumped from there to here at 1:21:55 p.m. So now we're back where we were at trial. Maybe you can call someone. Another blank message. What time are you coming here? Another blank one. Okay, so then Karen says, I don't know what time, feel kind of out of it, just trying to clear my head. That's at 2 o'clock or 2:06 p.m. And then John says, okay, text me when you guys settle in later. And again, all of these were read at the trial. And then we have another blank one. I feel pretty shitty about how this morning went down. I know you said sorry, but it really stung, especially when I've been trying pretty hard lately. I feel like a loser turning around, just coming back over after everything you said. That's at 2:16 p.m. Not sure what else you want me to do. I said I'm sorry and I was out of line. If you prefer to stay home, I totally get it. Things in my own life have been difficult too, you know. That's at 2:17 p.m. I know, he says. Tell me if you are interested in someone else. Can't think of any other reason you've been like this. Nope. Things haven't been great between us for a while. Ever consider that? Kids are here, not in the mood to talk. So we know she called him between these two messages here at between 2:26 and 2:29 p.m. She was calling him. So he texted her, kids are here, not in the mood to talk. So you're not into it anymore. That's fine. But I don't want to keep trying and you keep treating me like this. I'm trying to hug and kiss you this morning and you whack me in the face with a pillow. So for anyone who's interested, we did talk about this quite a bit on the live stream where we covered all of these text messages with Trooper Green on the stand. And I did timestamp this pillow talk conversation thing because we had a couple different thoughts on what normally we think of when we think of the whacking of the pillow. So anyway, that's timestamped. I'm trying to hug and kiss you this morning and you whack me in the face with a pillow, and this is at 2:29 p.m. Last night, you're basically like, yeah, what about when we talk about the future? So why don't you just admit you're not into it so much anymore? So what this means is like, what she's kind of saying here is, if she's like, yeah, so like, let's talk about the future. And I guess his response is something like, what about it? That's kind of how I interpret this. Not how it went down, but okay. Can you please admit your head is out of the game with us? So then John says at 2:32 p.m., sick of always arguing and fighting. It's been weekly for several months now. So yeah, I'm not as quick to jump back into being lovey-dovey as you apparently, which is funny because we know that's exactly how they were described at the waterfall. Bah. All right. Oh my God, stop calling. So we know she calls a bunch of times. Karen says, then why would you start with me this morning? You're setting me up to fail, exclamation point. You start a number of fights from your end. Never a good idea to blame people. I've explained it a few times already, not doing it again. So you're not into this anymore, she says again. That's at 2:33 p.m. Not into fighting all the time. Correct. He wants to make it clear he's not saying he's not into her, he's just not into the fighting. If you tell me you're interested in someone else, you will never hear from me again. You can have all the space in the world. She's giving him like an easy out if he wants it, essentially here, I think. And that's blank. Then stop starting with me, she says. I am not answering, stop calling. Okay, so she's been trying to call him some more. Can you please answer after how you treated me earlier? Kaylee is right here. He doesn't want to fight in front of the kids. You start a rager with me out of nowhere and then tell me you're sick of fighting with me. So she's basically calling him a hypocrite. This is just my interpretation, obviously. I'm going to grab a drink in a bit. And we did also speculate a good fair amount on this as well when we covered this on the live stream. For anyone who's interested, again, it's all time-stamped. Can you please answer? No, Karen, not sure why you need to announce that you're grabbing a drink, but have fun. That's at 2:39 p.m. Seeing if you want to meet me later, she says. Can you please call me? So she wants him to know that it's just because she wants to meet up. That's why she said the thing about going to grab a drink. Have to take them to the doctor. He has practice. Yeah, 5 minutes, Karen says. My father just walked in. Okay, can you please call me for 2 minutes? Not right now. I'm there when anyone else needs me. That's guilt tripping. I just have to say, I'll just call it like it is, right? Yes, John, you gave me utter grief this morning. I'd like you to call me for a minute. I've been trying to get over the hump with this arguing, and now you tell me you're not into things. Actually, he never said that. In fact, he just flat out denied it, I think already twice. But this is the third time she's tried to suggest this to him. And you don't want to fight weekly, but fly off the handle at 8 a.m. with me like you're setting me up to fail. And that's the third time she has used that same statement of setting her up to fail. All right, next message, 2:48 p.m. This I do not think came in at trial. I've been dealing with my own personal crisis over things I have zero control over. I'd like to lean on you too sometimes. Instead, I just hear everything I've done wrong. Yeah, that did not come in. Wow. I think that the defense kept this out because of the personal crisis thing. That just, there's of course the admissibility test and prejudicial versus probative. But if that doesn't even have to be considered if both sides just agree they don't want it to come in. And my guess is that both sides probably agreed on this one. The other possibility is this could be segueing, like what we saw earlier with the kids, into another conversation where it's just something that's just kind of off limits, where the whole, portion of that conversation is left out. So we'll see what happens next. You seriously cannot pick up the phone for 2 seconds? So, yeah, so this did not come in either. You seriously cannot pick up the phone for 2 seconds. That didn't come in. So this is at 2:54 p.m. And then next message at 3:08. Why don't you meet me at the hillside at 4:30 or 5? And then we have another blank one. Or whenever you get everyone settled. Like I said, doctor now, and he has practice till 6. If you want to go start drinking, then go for it. I didn't know the times of his practice. That's how she responds at 3:36. I just want to give you space at the house without me there, so rather meet you out than meet at the house. Yeah, well, now there's a 72-year-old taking up shop on my couch, so his dad. Yeah, that too. Is he going to Collins? Not tonight. So do you plan on going out tonight? Karen, I don't know. He's like, I don't know, Karen. Literally, right? You're like jonesing to drink, so go. That's kind of funny. Okay, well, after this morning went down, I don't think I need to be back over there yet. Wait. Okay, well, after how this morning went down, I don't think I need to be back over there with you get frustrated at how I am with the kids. I guess it has to, okay, I think she meant to say when. Let me rephrase this with a correction. Okay, well, after how this morning went down, I don't think I need to be back over there when you get frustrated at how I am with the kids. Has nothing to do with drinking. Again, none of these messages came in at all. So I am paranoid now that everything I do with them is problematic. So I'd rather see you for a minute without the kids around. What's your plan? He says at 4:47 p.m. Don't have one. So still home? Yes. We just got home, waiting to see what Papa decides here, or else I have to get Patrick at 6. Okay, she says. So are you staying home or coming here? And this is at 5 p.m. Waiting to see what you end up doing. I don't want to hang out at the house too much, like I said. She's very adamant about that, like even more than what we saw from the trial. I think it's clear me around with the kids is slowly killing our relationship, and relationship is much more important to me. Oof. That sounds like she's kind of like making him, I don't know, man. That's a bit, this is a interesting one, because it's almost like saying, well, we're going to have to choose. It's like us or the kids, and clearly my priority is us. I'm choosing us. Which one are you going to choose? Obviously, that's not what she's saying. That's just my interpretation. So I will say this much. I think that the picture we're seeing with this, with these, especially with the full context, is that, you know, there's like making something out of nothing or making a mountain out of a molehill. Everything that this is showing, these messages are showing, and then add to that all the testimony we heard in trial, is all really supporting the fact that they really only ever argued over the kids. And from what it sounds like, it mostly had to do with her spoiling them, right? And we saw at the very beginning of this text thread that she's been improving upon that, trying not to do it as much and stuff like that. But I guess they had an argument related to the kids. And so now, like this, in other words, this text message, just if you took it completely out of context, you wouldn't know what she means. Like, it's clear to me that me around with the kids is killing her. Like, that could make it seem like she hates the kids, or like there's some other problem with the kids, right? But you have to remember, this is all stemming from the fact that he maybe was critical of her with spoiling the kids again, per se, right? Like, she treated them to something. And remember, she seems to be feeling like he's setting her up to fail. So maybe she's feeling a little bit like defensive or whatever. And so insecure. And then he said something about her. Oh, she did the spoiling of the kids thing again, whatever. And then, and you know, again, they discussed that at the beginning of this text thread. And so now this almost would come across in a way of like guilt tripping him, because it's really exaggerating from what we've seen, it's really exaggerating. It's like really exaggerating what we know their actual conversation was about by saying it's me around with the kids is killing our relationship. So clearly we're going to have to choose. It's going to be us or the kids. That's kind of my takeaway here, but you know, that's just me. So this message, so this is at 5 p.m. Well, there's a blizzard coming, so we'll be inside all weekend. I remember them talking about this blizzard, but I think it was later on. So I think they just ended up repeating that part. But this, I think, still didn't come in, because this response did not come in for sure. It will be over by noon tomorrow. Yeah, I remember her saying something different in response to his comment about the blizzard. So they must talk about it twice. Okay, so here we are, 5:04 p.m. Well, there's a blizzard coming, so we'll be inside all weekend, and then it will be over by noon tomorrow. Don't think so. I don't want to keep having this constant conflict of the drama of the four of us. The harder I try, the more it kills our relationship as a couple. It feels like utter shit to be in this position, rather just meet you out for drinks when you figure out what your night looks like. I think so. So it almost seems like she can tell he's wanting her to come to the house, maybe, and so she's like, "No, I still would rather meet you out." Okay, let me elaborate on that just a smidgen. So remember, she's like saying she wants to go out for drinks, and he's like, "Oh, are you jonesing for a drink or whatever?" I think she's trying to emphasize that she just doesn't want to go to the house. She's saying the part about going out for drinks is, I think this is just my thoughts, is she's trying to emphasize, no, I want to meet you out. I don't want to go to the house. So she's emphasizing going out, but she's saying it's not because she wants to go drinking, it's because she doesn't want to go to the house. That's what I'm kind of taking away from this so far. Well, I have no idea what's going on, so do what you want. He's like, you do you. Need to figure out what everyone here is doing. Okay, so this makes sense. So he's like, here's what I get from him here is like, he's like, well, I can't just make my own decision because I've got other people here and they're relying, like, in other words, he has responsibility to others, right? He doesn't know what, he's got the kids there, he's got his dad there. So he's like, you do what you want. I have to wait till I hear from everyone else. So I need to figure out what everyone else here is doing. All I know now is Madeline is coming over. No clue about Patrick yet, or if Papa is planning on hanging for a few more hours. And then he doesn't know what Patrick's doing, or how long his dad's going to stay there. And I guess his dad is still on the couch from what we heard earlier. Okay, well, when you know the story and if you want to come up, let me know. No, Karen, you decide what you want to do. Interesting. I know your heart isn't in this anymore. I don't know. To me, this feels a bit disproportionate to what this conversation is. But I'm not in the relationship, obviously, just saying. I felt it for a while, and especially lately. I am willing to try more, but not if you are approaching the point of indifference. If you want me to come up and you can head out for a while, then say so when you know what your father is doing. This is at 5:14 p.m. You come up and I head out? Really? I don't know what that is about. I've told you already, I don't bounce. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, now it makes sense. I've told you already, I don't bounce back as quickly as you do after we have a battle. Oh, a battle, he says. No, head out together. Well, that would be meeting up at the house, but I guess she just doesn't want to go inside. Let's see what she says. Or meet out. Okay. Gonna send Patrick to Collins tonight. They're picking him up around 7. Mike may hang out too when he brings Matt over. Why don't you just come over? So he's basically trying to say the kids aren't going to be here, so you can just come to the house. Mike doesn't want to go out for a bit. She says at 5:20, I would like to benefit day from the jump. And this is Mike Camerano they're talking about there. Probably, I just got sober an hour ago. Well, that explains why this didn't come in. This is at 5:20 p.m. What the fuck? Wow. I'll let you hang out with Mike for a few. Don't need to butt in. Text me if or when you think you may head out. Can you send me Tim Zoll's contact info, please? Don't know who that is. I paid the last bill. You didn't have to do that. Thanks. Are you really going to accept my friend? Are you really not going to accept my friend request? What the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? He's not accept on what? Facebook? Oh, this is so great. I mean, wow. Oh my God. Are they not wait, hold on. I thought that they were already friends on Facebook, because isn't that how they like reconnected? When after they, they dated in the past, and didn't they reconnect on Facebook? Yeah, we have been going out for 2 years. Wow. I haven't gone on. You defriended me over a year ago, I believe. Wow. Carrie texted that they're headed out in a bit. Okay, he says. She's going to let me know where. So you're going to meet them? Just presenting it as an option. Wouldn't mind hanging out with them for a drink. Is Mike over? Yes. Sounds like you're good with getting together tonight. All this still, by the way, this whole chunk did not come in at trial. Was hoping after this morning you'd be interested in smoothing things over with me. Interesting. Told you to come over, but you insisted on meeting me out somewhere. So this is where there's an issue here. This is where there's an issue. He wants her to come there, and she wants to meet him out somewhere. Mike is a little off with me for a while now. I've said that multiple times. So I don't know. Okay, I'm wondering if what this is because he was saying the kids aren't going to be there, right? So he's like, so you can come over, and then I guess he's like, Mike is over. So then she's like, she's got issues happening with Mike. Maybe is that what this means? Mike is a little off with me. That's what that sounds like. So what we could infer from this is she's like, I don't want to be there because of Mike now, essentially, right? So time to get over it, Karen. He's fine. He was fine the other night when he came by. I wonder if we'll find out any more details about what happened between her and Mike. Yeah, just wouldn't mind hanging out with other people, like another female too. Where are you meeting them? I don't have plans with them. She just said they're headed out in a bit and will text me when they land somewhere. If you want to go out with Mike solo, that's fine. Just let me know. What's interesting, by the way, I'll just note that they've not talked about Brian Higgins at all. I already told you what you should do. Not going to keep doing this, he says, and that's at 6:41 p.m. I asked to let me know if you guys are going to head out. I haven't been out for drinks this week, and I had a shit week and shit day, and I dread Kaylee or Pat is going to get chatty with me the second I walk in, and that is going to irritate you. So the reason that phrase, the way this is phrased, is interesting, because she's not saying I'm going to start chatting with them. Now, my guess isn't because she doesn't want to. You know how kids are, right? These are like preteens. They're not going to talk to you if they don't like you. So my guess is that they've been like, she would also initiate conversation maybe in the past, and maybe this was another issue that they fought over. And so she's like, well, I can't stop them from talking to me, but I'll just not talk to them because it pisses you off, right? These are just my thoughts. And so now she's saying, like, if I just walk in the door, she's like, I may not initiate it, so you can't blame me, but if they start talking to me, it's going to irritate you. Squirrel thoughts. Pat is leaving. Kay is with Madeline Camerano, I guess. I'll text Chris then, he says. We're heading out shortly. What's your plan, Karen? Do you want me to join or no? Yes, wasn't sure if you were interested. Yes, wasn't sure if you were meeting the Currans. They are not out drinking yet. This is at 7:07. Where are you headed? At 7:09, trying to decide maybe McCarthy's. Okay, then let me know where you decide. I'm still down in Enfield. Text me when you leave. Still waiting on McKinney's. We're still not to where the messages came in yet. So I actually just double checked just to make sure. The next message that we have in trial is at 7:41 p.m. So these are still not coming in yet. Text me when you leave. Still waiting on McKinney's. I'm having issues with my hot water, so I had to text someone to take a look. So that's the plumbing. So plumbing is hot water related, sounds like. You trying to piss me off. Which is interesting. My speculation, see again, these were not coming in, but my speculation when we got to the plumber text messages, when we were doing this live, was that like he felt emasculated or something because he says that like he could have done it himself and instead she called somebody. But let's see what happens here. Oh, so it's a jealousy thing. Hope your plumber buddy that you texted is hot. So okay, I will say this. Maybe she was trying to piss him off because it seems like his reaction to this is such that she should have maybe been expecting it based on what he says. You trying to piss me off, and then obviously he's pissed off. So if she was trying to do that, it worked. But my guess, I'm not scrolling down yet, but my guess, if I had to guess, what is she gonna do? She's gonna try to say, no, I'm not trying to piss you off. I really needed a pump, something to that effect, right? She's gonna shoot it down and make it seem like he's overreacting. That's just my guess. Let's see what she does. Nope. My shower only got lukewarm, and now my sink won't run hot at all. The plumber I used to use is right down the road. So she's like, you're making much ado about nothing. I turned that temp thing in the basement all the way up. Check the water heater and see if it's leaking. So see, he still wants to help. Interesting. It's not. Don't do that. Is the pilot lit? Oh, she must have like, I guess a gas? I was trying to get my shower hot. Yes. Don't turn it. Oh, I see. Oh, now it makes sense. Okay. Saying don't do that as in don't turn the temperature all the way up. It will burn out. There we go. Now we know. I had this issue twice before and it wasn't a disaster. I just can't remember what the cause was. I knew he was going to say this. Just turn it back to where it was and get over here. He wants to make up. It sounds like he changed his mind and he wants to make up. Although having said that, he always wanted her to come to his house. It sounds like maybe where there was discrepancy is that he's like, I'm not comfortable going out with other people and being in public if we've just had a fight. I'm just trying to think about this. So, because he never was like not wanting her to come over. He always wanted her to come over. That was clear. But then when he was pushing back was when she was like, I want to go out. And he's like, nah, I just don't get over things as easily as you or whatever. But then she's like, well, I don't want to be there because of the kids. And so then he's like, well, the kids now have plans. They're not going to be here. And then he was like, well, my dad's here and Mike is here and whatever. And then anyway, hopefully everyone's up to speed as to what's going on. But he still wants her to come over, it sounds like. So, all right. I don't want to come home in a blizzard and then really be up shit creek. Relatable, right? She doesn't have hot water. And honestly, the other thing too is if she doesn't have hot water, she can't keep her pipes from freezing. That's the other thing too, right? I wonder if anyone will mention that. Let's see. So you're going home tonight. Or tomorrow or whenever. I've had a chilled all day since my shower. Okay, so I guess she had to take a cold shower. It's going to snow all day tomorrow. No driving. We're heading to McCarthy's. Okay, let me know if you end up leaving. Why? You're not coming? So this message right here is the next time that this is where the trial picks up. So that was a lot that did not come in. So, okay, let me know if you end up leaving at 7:41. Why? Now you're not coming? I'm waiting for the plumber. I actually think he's in the driveway. We're taking Mike's car, so I'm relying on you for a ride home if he leaves. He's not going home after 8 o'clock on a Friday. He may have to get Michael. You have a plumber coming over at 8 o'clock. Knowing me and Papa could have handled it. Good luck. Right. Okay. So this message here is now the last one. So we get a couple more in as far as the trial, right? And so then this one here. Okay. So you have a plumber coming over at 8 o'clock. Knowing me and Papa could have handled it. Good luck. All right. Now we're getting to another batch that these did not come in. So this is at 7:48. Karen says, I've always told you I will not put either of you out of your way the way everyone else in your life does. I knew it wasn't working right when you were at the doctor's with Kaylee, and I knew neither of you could get here, and this guy Richie fixed it the last time, whatever it was. He was supposed to be here at 5. So she's like, yeah, this is legitimate. Here's all the reasons why I have a plumber coming over. Yeah. It was not a quick fix. I'll tell him to forget it. Sounds reasonable enough to me. If you need a new water heater, don't let him do it. Yeah, I think those are like a tricky job from what I hear. He's here now. If it's not quick, I'm not doing it. I just want to be sure nothing is wrong / will go wrong when I'm not home. He's not a scammer. Okay, so she thinks he was saying don't let him do the water heater thing because people will overcharge. He's not a scammer. Half the quick stuff he doesn't even charge me for. And then she puts in parentheses, he just puts the toilet seats on crooked, close parentheses. I wonder if that's like a joke that they have between the two of them, or like there's some sort of funny thing about that. Status? ? He says, still here. She says, and that's at 8:09 p.m. Said he's got to go to HD and probably be back mañana. Home Depot. Shout out to Home Depot. At least that's my guess anyway. So, ... And then this is that same sign that we saw before. I don't know what that is supposed to be. I wonder if that's... This is literally a guess. I wonder if that is a female... I wonder if that's a woman shrugging emoji. And Celebrite doesn't know how to do emojis yet. And that's what it does. That's literally just a guess. If anyone ever watches this that like works for Celebrite, let me know if that's what that is, or if it's something else, or if anyone knows. But that's just a guess because we saw that earlier. I don't remember the context, but in this context, it would make sense if it was a shrug. Just trying to figure out if I need to be here, she says. What does it need? I don't know. He showed me some piece that was all rusted. It's definitely a shrug, man. That's definitely a shrug. That is a shrug situation right here for this symbol. I don't understand half this stuff. On the water heater? ? Yes. Tell him to leave it. I'll take care of it Sunday or Monday. No, it's okay. I can either meet him here or just shut off the alarm. He used to work here while I was at work. Does he realize it will be whiteout conditions tomorrow morning? So he's worried about the plumber. Oh, right, because the plumber has to go to Home Depot. Right, okay. So he's worried about the plumber, I guess, driving in the snow? I mean, that's really considerate if that's the case. Yeah, but he lives right down the road. Okay, this is where it picked up at trial, right here. Karen, this storm is going to be intense, can't drive. So it's funny because in trial, it sounds like he's talking to her here, right? This actually is in reference to the plumber, which is completely different. I feel like that should have come in for that purpose. Like, that's a different context. See, he's saying, Karen, this storm is intense, can't drive, because the previous text that he said is, does he realize it will be whiteout conditions tomorrow morning, in reference to the plumber returning from Home Depot with whatever the part is that she needs. Interesting. Okay, well, if he can't, he can't. Again, what's funny is in trial, we were like, what? Who can't? What can't? Like, it didn't make any sense to me anyway, because it did, but now it makes sense. She's talking about the plumber being able to come back the next day with the part from Home Depot. I'll do it Monday. See, now this makes so much more sense. I better not still have this problem on Monday. You plan on being there? I'd like to know I can take a hot shower here if I need to. I added the word like because she forgot it. Figured you'd be in Canton until Monday. I'm getting off my phone. Let me know what you're doing. I think the 4 of us together is toxic to this relationship, would like to limit it. You said so yourself for probably a year now. Blizzard tomorrow, nobody is going anywhere. Maybe I'll come back late tonight. Bad snow is in the early AM. I'll head up there in a few minutes. Let me know if you leave. Sure. And then she says, I'm going home at 12:55 a.m. See you later. 1:02 a.m. Your kids are cucking alone. And then at 1:04, I'm back in Mansfield. The kids are home alone. Well, I think that does it. So you guys, now we have a little bit more context about stuff. So yeah, so that's it for this one. And we will be having the next recap here soon, guys. And we are jumping right on into week 9, which is the last week of the trial. On the next recap, the Commonwealth will officially rest and the defense will begin their case in chief. So we have that to look forward to. But yeah, as always, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a squirrel, and see y'all on the next video.